Hello, everybody. This is MoveEasy Yoga with Via. Today is July 27th, 2021. We're in Chicago today. Some of us, including me. Let's start in the regular fashion, just lying on your back and watching your breath. And bringing your entire body, mind, and spirit into the room. And watching your breath and not trying to change it. Try to find the quietest part of your mind and settle there. Tell your body it's in for a treat today, moving. The cells are moving, the body's moving. The cells are nourished by movement. I love my body, and my body loves me. And get ready for vagus nerve reset. Without moving anything but your eyeballs. Move your eyeballs to the right and wait for an involuntary sigh, swallow, yawn, or gulp. Come back to center. Shift your eyeballs to the left and wait for an involuntary yawn, sigh, swallow, or gulp. And then continue with this same pattern, two more sets, right, left, without my cueing. Whenever you're finished, let's do rib cage breathing for breath work, using your, maybe digging into the bottom of your rib cage a little bit, so that you unstick the diaphragm. And whenever it feels right, stop doing that and put your hands around your rib cage, thumbs down, fingers up toward the bottom of the rib cage. And on your inhale, feel the expansion of the rib cage into the sides and front and back too. And then exhale and return, everything returns to a smaller shape. And keep going about 6 more of these. Whenever you're done, find a sponge ball and put it behind your head. We're going to do head ramping. When you do it with a sponge ball like this, you can call it a C1 glide, but it's the same thing. But the sponge ball is under your head. And then you're just going to drop your skull and press it into the sponge ball. Your chin drops. Hold and breathe for a couple breaths. And then let it go. And then press again. And hold, but don't hold your breath. Just hold the press, the ramp. Only 3 more times. Finish up. And let's do the basic hypopressive, lying on your back with your knees bent, your toes up toward the ceiling, your arms over your chest like you're hugging a tree. Flip your palms and then activate all of your arms and shoulders by pressing the palms toward the ceiling and the scapula towards the floor. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last breath. Inhale. Exhale all the way out. Hold your breath out, no breath. Oh, I count to 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Inhale, exhale, start breathing again. Extend your legs. Take your right ankle over your left. Bring your arms up again. This time, the right hand is on top, and then bring your arms overhead. Oh, the left hand is on top, sorry. Okay, opposites. 3 breaths. Inhale. And you've exhaled, I hope, because I forgot to mention. Inhale. And exhale. Last one, inhale. And exhale, all the way out. Hold your breath out, no breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Inhale, exhale, switch sides, left ankle over right. And then, let's see, right hand on top, arms overhead. 3 breaths. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. Exhale all the way out. Hold your breath out, no breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Inhale and exhale. We're done with all of that. We're done with the warm up. We're going to stay supine, and I want you to find a chair. We're going to do static back for 4 minutes, and then do some pelvis movements, pelvic movements. So you need a chair.
You can do it.
Mhm. I'm going to do it too.
I'm gonna do it around my dog.
Okay. So we're going to do 4 minutes. This is called static. Well, it's called a number of things, but static back is one of the things it's called. It releases the psoas, it releases the hips. You might want to put a pillow underneath or towels underneath your head. You want to have your knees at a 90-degree angle and your hips at a 90-degree angle, or as close as you can get. And just staying here, if you'd like, you can have your arms out in a T or your arms in an airplane, or I mean, not on an airplane, a cactus, or you could have your arms. This is so annoying. Or you could have your arms at your side. Just choose any of those, and we'll be here for 4 minutes. while you're here, try for neutral spine, neutral pelvis. The tailbone is not too tucked one way or the other. Okay, we're done with static back, but we're going to stay here and do the 6 directions of motion for the pelvis. You may want to slide back a little bit so you can feel your pelvis on the floor. Slide back from the chair. So starting with tilting, so think of the tailbone as tilting and spilling water through the legs, between the thighs, and that's one tilt, one direction of a tilt. And then tilt the tailbone up so the water is spilling into the belly button. So just back and forth, do it about 6 times, really slowly, so you can start to become acquainted with these very important movements of the pelvis. The pelvis are these bones that are beside the sacrum and below the spine. And just back and forth. And then at some point, you're going to land in neutral, somewhere halfway between one tilt and the other. Your pelvis will love you for these movements. This helps with hips and lower back also. And whenever you're done with that, put your thumbs on top of the side near the QL, the side of the pelvis, and then lift. You're not going to lift your pelvis off the floor. You're going to tilt it up. Let's start on the right, tilt up towards the armpit. And obviously the other side of the pelvis goes down. These are hip hikes. And then go to the left and do about 6 sets of these. And just really slowly so you can become acquainted with this movement, this fundamental pelvic movement. So we're doing both sides. So two directions of movement for the pelvis. When you've done 6 sets, stop. Maybe just wait a minute to notice what happened. And then put your fingers on the bony landmark that's in front of at the front of the pelvis. And then you're going to drop directly down below that to one side, to the right. Let's start with the right. Come back to center and then drop, or you could even press it down to the left. What you want to do is be sure that this doesn't become a hip hike. So it's directly a drop. And then come back to center. And then drop to the left. And do about 4 more of those. We're finishing the 6 available directions of motion of the pelvis. And whenever you're finished, just come up to gently bring yourself up to a floor seated position. If you'd like. We're going to do what we almost always do. But first, we're going to start with hip circles, floor seated hip circles. Cross your legs. Sit up tall. Then drop your chin. Your hands are on your knees. You're going to drop your chin to the right knee. And this is a long back, long flat back. And then just rotate, circle across. Your chin is down a little bit, neutral really. And then come to the left knee. When you come to the left knee, come on up. And then you start again and go to the left. So we're going to alternate the next circle, go at your own pace. Go to the left, slide across in front, keep your back straight, your chest open, hip circles. And then go to the other side. So I've done 1 set. We want to do 6 sets of these. Do it slowly. No hurry here. Big hip opener. Remember to switch sides. So you're hinging at the hip. Don't round the lumbar. Go ahead and finish up. I think I have one more set. And when you're finished, come up to a seated position and bring your knees and your feet in front of you with your knees up and your hands behind you. We're going to do internal knee drops, one at a time, one knee at a time. So take your knees, spread your knees a little wider so you have room to drop your right knee to the floor. Actually, the other knee drops also, but the internal knee drop is on the right. And then come on up. You're leaning back on your hands. That's what allows you to do this. And then drop. And then pop up. So just alternating. I've done one set. I'm going to do 6.
We're dropping to the inside.
Dropping to the inside. Well, one side drops to the inside. The other side drops to the outside.
Oh, I see. Okay, both of them. All right, I didn't get that.
So yeah, we're not doing the supine. Oh, yeah, we're not doing the supine, which is a little different than this, and it internally drops, and then we do the resistance with that. No, but you still should feel a nice stretch along the top of the quads when you drop your knee to the inside. And this is another. There's lots of them, but this is another hip opener. And you may not go down as low as Kathy or I do. And I've totally lost count, so I'm going to do one more.
So high.
We can do that. And come on back, come into a cross-legged position. And now we're going to do the traditional side bend and spine twist. I love to always include some form of side bend, and it's usually this one and spine twist. Go ahead. I'm going to set the clock for 40 seconds. And just start on the right arm slides along the floor. The left arm comes up and over. And just stay here. Keep your hips even on the floor. Your neck, you could be moving your head from side to side, something that feels good, just adding a stretch, a neck stretch, or not. Make your neck comfortable though. Drop your elbow forward. So you're getting just another stretch at the armpit, an additional stretch. Bring your elbow up. Bring your entire body up. Switch to the other side. Left arm slides along the floor. Right arm up and over. In your own practice, you could spend more time. You could repeat this a number of times and it wouldn't hurt you at all. And bring your elbow forward. And get another stretch. And bring your elbow up first and then your entire torso up. We're going to do spine twist with intercostal slide, ribcage slide if you want. Just put your left hand on your right knee. Your right arm goes behind you. Spider fingers. Find your spine twist tall. You're tall. Your head can be facing backward or forward, central. And if you want, you can add ribcage slide. Come all the way back to center, go to the other side, right hand, left knee, left arm behind you, spider fingers. Rotate the thoracic spine to the left, sit tall, and you can add rib cage slide if you'd like. But try not to involve the shoulders with rib cage slide. Come on back to center. And we're going to go back to supine and do some dead bug variations. Dead bug is when you're lying down on the floor with your knees up in tabletop. And there are different variations. Sometimes we're just moving the legs. And sometimes the arms. So when your legs are up here, you're actually doing, and you can do it alternating, toe tapping. So tap your toe on the floor. Try to keep an even or 90-degree angle at the, yeah, good. So every alternating one. So this is one way we're going to do it. We're going to eventually add the arms. And I think maybe one more set. And then the next one is go ahead and keep your legs up like that and bring your arms overhead, arms towards ceiling, and now alternating arms to the ear and then the other one. Alternating one at a time. Now, if the next part is too hard, you can stay here, choose one or the other, legs or arms. Now, when you're done with arms, you're going to do alternating. So say the right arm is going down, then the left leg. Come on, bring up. Yes, this is core work. I hope you feel the core. Alternating arms and legs. And it's also cross patterning, which is actually very good for balancing in the brain. If it's hard to get organized, just stop, pause, take some breaths and start again.
Yeah, pat your head and rub your stomach.
What?
Pat your head and rub your stomach.
That's what this is actually. That kind of thing. Who knew you could do this in a yoga class? This is actually a traditional yoga. Stop doing what you're doing. Drop your feet. Knees stay bent. And just rest for a minute and think about what you did. And you can drop your knees from side to side if you want, or open up in a butterfly, but just something to rest for a minute. we're going to do, the next thing we're going to do is revolved abdominals, in which case you're going to bring your knees up and then bring your feet up parallel. So this is a tabletop position. And then from your arms can be out to the side in T or in a cactus, and then just drop your knees to the right, trying to keep the knees even. So if your left knee starts sliding behind, then don't go so far. Keep the knees even and then come back using your abdominals to come back, and then come on back to the left. See if you can keep your knees even and your ankles even, and then come on back. Use your abdominals. Other side. You don't have to go all the way to the floor. The idea is to keep your knees even as you move. Feel your abdominals doing the work here, especially the pulling back. Lift your heels a little, Kathy, so that you have your legs are in a straight line, or your four legs, front of the legs. This has all sorts of variations. This is the basic one. If we ever get good at this, there's others. I say one more set. So one more right, left. And come on back, put your feet on the floor. We're going to do a side plank. We're going to do a side plank with the leg lifted. It's called a Copenhagen side plank. Find a chair or a couch or something higher, a box. And then put your top leg, lie on your side, put your top leg on the thing that's higher, whatever it is. We're gonna be here for 40 seconds. I think I'll time it that way. And then lift so you're on your left elbow, your right leg is on the top, it's up on a something high. And then you're just gonna lift your hips and stay and breathe. Just lift your hips, that's it. The bottom knee is bended, folded under you on the floor. Feel the work in the top QL, right at that place where we were doing hip hikes. And breathe and use your abdominals. Stay here, you have 15 more seconds. I love this. This is so easy and so hard all at once. Great for the lower back and the QL. Come on down, switch to the other side. Actually, the difficulty here varies depending on how high the chair or the object is. I happen to be down on a couple of risers, so mine is probably easier than yours. Go ahead and find it, the top leg, your side lying, and just lift the hips up. And stay here and breathe. If you want to, you can bring your top arm up to the ceiling. There she goes. Okay, come on down. Good work. Good job. I really like that one. Let's come up to standing and do the back extension at the wall. You're standing with your back to the wall. Bring your arms overhead. Put your palms on the wall or fingertips or whatever you can find. And I'm going to time you again. Let's see. So this has a little bit of setup time for Kathy.
Sorry.
That's okay. This is a production, and you've made it a better production. Just staying here and breathing. And this is a chest opener and a back extension. If this is hard for you to do, you can sit in a chair, put your hands at the bottom of the chair or at the back of the bottom of the chair and open your chest, and you'll get something similar to this. And come on out of that. You were going to do a spine twist on the wall. So starting with your right hip on the wall, and then the right foot forward, left foot back. Bend your elbows and rotate to the right. And breathe. Another spine twist. Come on back, untangle yourself, go to the other side, left foot forward, right foot back, bend your elbows, rotate your spine to the left, using the wall to create structure and actually maybe a bigger rotation. Come on back, slowly back, and let's do, let's see what we're going to do here. Hip hinge at the wall. So stand facing the wall about an arm's length plus a little more apart from the wall. And then you're going to hinge at the hips. So you can even put your fingers there, hinge at the hips. Kathy, you might, well, everyone's going to have to adjust. And I don't want you to adjust. If you find you're too close to the wall or too far, then come all the way up and then start over again. So don't make the adjustment when you're down, if you know what I mean. So folding forward and then arms forward. And see if that's about right. But if it's not, come on back and then start over again. So that might be a little too far, I guess. It's just inch. I guess we're just talking about inches or fractions of inches. Make sure that your toes are right in front of your heels. Now, see the length that Kathy's trying to get? You might want to come a half an inch closer, Kathy. Come on up. Because otherwise you need to have, the wall, the hands on the wall creates some stability. So lift your head a little bit, lift your arms, walk your arms up a little bit the wall. Now, now I like this. Straight spine, and she should be feeling a big stretch in lower back all the way along the spine and in the shoulders. So this becomes a shoulder opener as well. Whoops, I'm supposed to time it. You got a little bonus there, everybody. Now you get to stay here for 40 seconds. Hip hinge at the wall, or some people call this down dog at the wall. It's my favorite version of down dog. And just stay here and breathe. Okay. I think just realized I forgot the one thing I meant to do. I'm committed to doing, come on up, Kathy. And you could, to come up, I should have cued this, is you can just go forward and crawl yourself up the wall. That's probably the best way to come up. Walk forward, your feet forward also. So your feet has come forward, you're walking forward and you're climbing up the wall. And that's how you get out of this. Let's do footwork with neuro balls. I'm trying to use the neuro balls either for the hands or the feet every week, so that you won't feel like you overinvested in your balls. You invested in the balls with nothing to do with them.
Oh, I play with them all the time now.
Oh, good. That's good.
Oh, they're great.
So take your balls apart. If you don't have, well, if anyone does, I think everybody has. I shouldn't even say that, but you could use therapy balls. But otherwise, split your ball into half. And what? No, just 1 foot at a time. And start with at the number 1 point for the right foot. And put all of your weight on the ball. And we're going to stay here for 40 seconds. Just know that you could do an add-on, a stacking. You can spread your toes and squeeze them at the same time as your neuro ball footwork. Okay. Go to the next point, number 2, right in the center. Your heel is probably still on the floor. If you want to, you can add toe, spreads and toe squeezes. Point number 3, just in front of the calcaneus, your heel may be up off the floor. Your toes are on the floor. You can still maybe keep your foot on the floor, the front of your foot on the floor, but you could still spread your toes and maybe squeeze them. but that's optional. And now number four, 1, 2, 3, 4 is back up in the center to the outside edge of the foot. Find a place there. I just pressed on my ball on that point and I released the left side of my neck. Go all the way across to the inside of the foot. Remember, you could be squeezing your toes and spreading them. This is called stacking when you do several things at once. It's not a bad thing. Multitasking is when you have totally isolated, independent things you're doing at once. It could be a problem, multitasking. Last one, bring the ball up just below the big toe mound. Other side. Starting with number 1. Number 2, middle of the foot, middle of the, in both dimensions. And then go back just in front of the calcaneus, the heel. Did you know that the calcaneus actually moves? It's a bone. It's a funny bone. well, an important one, and it moves just a little bit. Number 4, out middle and then outside of the foot. I love the balls placed on the inside and outside of the foot. And hand, actually, one of my favorite places. Inside edge of the foot in the center. Last one, just underneath the big toe mound. Okay, the footwork, Neuro ball footwork is done. Find your way onto your back for Yoga Nidra. Maybe you'll put a washcloth over your eyes. Maybe you'll have a blanket. Maybe you'll have your knees up on a chair, just like we did earlier today. Whatever you're doing, start to pay attention to your breath. Watching the breath as it rises, as the belly expands when you inhale and shrinks when you exhale. And then bring your attention and your awareness to the center of your eyebrows, center of your throat, right shoulder, elbow, wrist, right thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, right wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, left shoulder, elbow, wrist, left thumb. Hold on. Left thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, left wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, spiritual heart center, right side of your chest, heart center, navel center, center of your pelvis, right hip, knee, ankle, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, right ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, left hip, knee, ankle, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, left ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, navel center, heart center, center of your throat, center of your eyebrows. This completes our 61-point guided yoga nidra meditation. Just extend your arms overhead and your legs along the mat and start to stretch in both directions. And wiggle your fingers and your toes and rotate your wrists and your ankles in one direction and then the other. Hug your right knee to your chest and then your left knee to your chest. Hug both knees to your chest and rock from side to side, releasing the lower back, opening the hips. Do that a couple times, and then whenever you're ready, roll to one side. With your bottom arm as a pillow, and then use your top arm to bring yourself up to a seated position. I'm going to remove the spotlight. What? I know, and I'm going to start my video. And then I'm going to make my view a gallery view so I can see everybody. Okay, that's
All your pretty faces.
what?
See all your pretty faces. God, you guys really look alike. I see it in all three of you.
Yeah. So just press your hands together really strongly. Fuerte. I think that's Italian for strong. And then release that. And just lift your skull, the base of your skull, up away from your shoulders so you can nod forward. Nodding, nodding, bowing, noticing the light in each of us, and knowing that we're all one light. And we're going to close the class by saying to each other, namaste.
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 Namaste. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank
Stop
you.
recording.